So today we are doing a reaction review, and reaction reviews are something brand new to the channel, right? So reaction reviews are basically when I read this a comic book about 10 minutes before the stream, so it's fresh, right? So there's a lot of names that I won't remember, but it's okay, right? So we are doing a review on We Only Find Them When They're Dead, right? Checking this out. Now, I super enjoy this book. Now, it didn't start off like that. So we're introduced to the year 2023, right? So I'm looking down because everything is brand new and fresh for me, right? So we're looking at a ship named the Vihan or the Vihan, something of the nature, and it's an autopsy ship. So when you're reading the book, you're like, autopsy ship, like what's going on? What is that all about? So we're introduced to a couple of characters, right? And the couple of characters include George Malik, the captain. We have Ella, which is the coroner. We have Alice, which is the quartermaster, and then we have Jason, which is the engineer. Right. So as they're going along, first we start off with the year 2023, but then we get a time skip to 2367, which is when we are introduced to those characters that I just mentioned, right? Because in the beginning of the book, you're kind of looking through the eyes of a child, right? And I think that is Captain Malik. And basically, whoever he's talking to, which I think is his dad or his, the parent, is basically like, you'll have your own ship one day, right? So skipping ahead, right? They're going through the cosmos. They're kind of, just kind of flowing through, and they say to each other, basically, and I'm going to quote it right here, right? They say, "The first time you see a god is the moment you never forget. Their impossible scale, the sheer immensity of them, their impossible beauty," right? So I'm like, what are they talking about? They're on their way to meet a god, right? So then lo and behold, we see this amazing, beautiful artwork right here of a god, right? So the god, it says the gods are always beautiful and the gods are always dead. So then we're noticing that this god, as beautiful as it is or she is, or I'm gonna say the god is beautiful, right? It's dead. It's a dead god, and you're probably wondering like, how did it die? Me too. I'm wondering, how did the god die? But as we're embarking and we're seeing a little bit more, the autopsy ship is literally that. It's an autopsy ship. So they're going to salvage parts, right? Meats and different, basically natural resources that are coming from the god itself, right? They're going for the eyes. They're going for anything that they could salvage and then later on basically sell, right? The meat, everything, right? So at that part, I'm like, what the hell? But that's what they're doing, right? So in the midst of going for it, right, they're kind of located in a specific space to then go, right? And they locate an area around the mouth area and then the eye area, right? So then you get this scene where they're literally like hacking the ship is literally hacking and then salvaging parts from the teeth, right? From the actual ship. So at this part is kind of like weird to me because I'm like, damn, like they cutting up that god that looks so beautiful and angelic, but they have work to do, right? And so they're notified in other areas that there are other people who are trying to salvage too, right? So it's kind of like a first come first serve. Who claims their area, what area they're going to claim, and so certain areas are more profitable in the sense of they could salvage the best resources right from those areas. So they do so, and in the midst of that, they get a communication from Paula Richter. And Paula Richter is kind of the officer on duty at the time, kind of surveillance in the area, but also in charge of the ship where the Vihan is, right? And that's we're on the Vihan 2, right? That's where our story takes place with the Vihan 2 and our cast of characters, our four cast of characters. But one of the things that the captain Malik says is that when he's in the ship, he's saying like, don't speak too loud, the ship can hear us, right? And what he means is that basically who is running the show could hear them, right? And he's referencing the same officer on duty that I'm speaking about, right? So they salvage the area, and they kind of come into this midway conflict, but then they're able to get the resources from the god itself, and they speak to they're speaking to the officer who's asking them questions about, were you able to obtain X, Y, and Z, right? And they confirm what they were able to salvage, right, from the god in that specific mouth region and other areas where they were able to get resources. Now, the gods are immense, right? At least this god is immense in terms of like size, right? The ship, when you look at the size of the ship, right? And what they're cutting, right? It's like they're as small as like a flea, right? Or a fly cutting up like these pieces in order to salvage what they need to salvage in terms of resources. Anyway, going back to the officer on duty, the officer on duty basically asks them the questions, right? And he says to Officer Malik that you better do X, Y, and Z. I know who you are, and I know where you stay, right? So then the engineer, right? The engineer says, Captain, I just have to ask, right? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but what is it between you and that officer? Why he doesn't really like you so much, or at least that's what we're reading into. Officer Malik says, that's pretty simple. He killed my parents, right? So I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? So in the midst of that, as they're going into like a hyperdrive state, right? Meaning that they're just going beyond the speed of light to transport from point A to point B, then he basically tells the rest of the crew that now we could talk, right? So he's talking to them, and then he's basically saying like things are getting a little bit grim in the sense of there are more and more people trying to salvage the dead gods, and it's kind of like a skirmish to like see who gets there first, and it's just not enough, right? But one of the things that he says before the book ends, and spoiler alert, but you already know this was a spoiler based review anyway. He says in this last panel, he says, I was 5 years old when I saw my first dead god. In 3 days' time, we'll see a live one. And I'm like, and then it says to be continued. And I'm like, oh snap, right? Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of hyped for it in itself, right? So yeah, I'm like, like, what's going on with this book? But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I didn't start off enjoying the book until for like the first couple of pages, until I noticed that they were doing an autopsy on the actual god itself, and I want to know, how did the god die? What killed the god? And why are they finding gods that are not alive, right? So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. If I was to rate the book, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. And for me, 8 out of 10 simply means that I'm looking for more, right? I wasn't able to really grasp the depth of everything that was happening in the book, but it was a really great book, right? So with that being said, this is not the end of the video. Some of you in the chat are probably like, are you live, Zen? Are you like, is this a pre-recorded? No, I'm live right now. So now I'm going to open up the chat, and I'm going to give the shout outs to the crew, because I see the crew in the chat. Boom! Let's do this. Evan, shout out to Evan. Shout out to Piranha. Welcome back, Piranha. Uh, we only find them when they subscribe. Slip Comics and more. What's going on? Gameology, what's going on? I collect a lot. What's going on? Appreciate you all coming to hang out and watch me do this rundown and review. Well, it's not a rundown or review, it's a reaction and review. I literally read this book 10 minutes before I stream, and I'm going to do more of these reaction reviews, right? Because this is literally my natural reaction after reading this book. The first couple pages, wasn't really feeling it. Then, got here. I'm saying the first couple pages. It was only like one page. I was like, oh, Then I got here and I was like, oh, we only find them when they're dead. And then they started talking. We introduced the crew and I was like, oh, And then they embarked on this quote, right? The first time you see a god, it's a moment you'll never forget. Their impossible scale, their sheer immensity of them, the sheer immensity of them, their impossible beauty. And then I got to this panel and I was like, I'm feeling it. I want to see what happens next. Lo and behold, they're doing an autopsy on this, on the god itself. Now, in terms of my hype to read the next one, out of 5, from like 1 to 5, if I was to scale it, I'm probably at a 3. I know I sound a little bit more hype in the sense, but I enjoyed the book, but I'm at a 3, right? And the reason why I'm at a 3 is that like I feel like I might read a whole bunch of other books and then go to my LCS, aka local comic book store, and probably forget about it, right? I don't think it was a book that was so impactful that I'm just like, whoa, do you guys have this book here? Right? But was it good enough for me to say to give it an 8 out of 10? Yeah. It was a clean book, right? It was a clean, well-written book, and shout out to, let's go through the people who actually made the book, right? Written by Al Ewing, illustrated by Simone D. Meal. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, and I apologize if that person ever sees this video. With color assist by Marasana Mio T. Mio T. I'm just gonna say that. Letter by and World Design. Right? Good. And then there's more, right? There's more to the crew. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm gonna bag it and board it, and it's gonna go in the collection pile, right? But overall, solid book. Boom Studios, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And anyone who's into sci-fi in the sense of like anything that's kind of like outer space, with a ship traveling, kind of like a Star Trek type of thing, but a little bit on the intense side, right? In terms of them salvaging for, I'm showing you from the side to avoid the glare. If you're into that kind of like that type of sci-fi, right? Then you'll definitely enjoy this book, right? Like if I was to see this in a movie, I'd probably flip with some good music from like Hans Zimmer or something like this. This would be a really good, I said a good book. This would be a really good movie, right? So, oh, sorry if I spoiled you. I collect a lot, but this is all of my reviews are gonna be pretty much a spoiler, right? So I apologize. I should probably put that in the description, like nothing but nothing but spoilers ahead, right? So actually, all of my reviews are gonna be spoilers. So I'm gonna do another one of these probably tomorrow. I'll see. I know this weekend is supposed to be game time. I was thinking about streaming the Marvels Avengers. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I want to stream it. It seems like a task. I just want to probably like, I don't know. Let me know if you guys want me to stream the new Marvel's Avengers games. Let me know. Let me know in the chat before I end the stream. So this one is going to be a shorter one because it was a reaction review. But do you all want to see me do 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 you all want to see me stream the new Avengers game? Post it in the chat. It's a couple of you here, but that's all I need. All I need is one person to let me know. So let me know before we close out. And yeah, definitely enjoyed. We only find them when they're dead. I finally know how to say the name of the title of the book without making a mistake. So I'll wait for that. But in the meantime, time to play that outro.
You will never amount to anything. We shall see, brother.
All right, team. So we're bringing it back. Just playing some little bit of outro music, right? All right. Let's bring it to a pause. So yeah, you said I'm not a video game guy. I hear you. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. So guys, the next book I'm gonna let the chat pick. let you guys pick in the chat. Which book would you like to see me do a reaction review? Because I purposely didn't read the books yet. I purposely didn't read it yet because I want to do a natural reaction to these books. I was gonna read a ton last night, but I didn't. I did it. So we have. Let me know in the chat. It's gonna be first come first serve, right? So go. I'm gonna wait. Don't pick the book yet until I go through all the books. These are the pickups that I got yesterday. Let me switch scenes. Let me teleport over in 3, 2, go. All right, I'm back. Which one do you want to see me do a reaction review to next? We have Avengers Empire Fantastic Four. We have Marvel Zombies Resurrection. We have Miles Morales Spider Man number 18. Wolverine. We have Deceased Dead Planet. We have Cable number 4. We have New Mutants number 12. We have, well, this one I'm not gonna put in the list because this is a multitude of different stories. And then we have Alien, the original screenplay. Now you could go. Which book would you like to see me do a reaction review to next? And this is my way of also, I'm not doing a whole bunch of giveaways, but at least the chat could pick first come first serve. Whoever picks first, that's the book I'm gonna do next for tomorrow's video. I would do multiple, but zombies, boom, got it. Slim Comics and more, you got it. So the next book, I saw zombies first. I'm gonna do it again tomorrow, right? So when I do it tomorrow, first come first serve. Whoever picks first, right? You gotta be quick. Even though the both of you are pretty quick. So tomorrow's reaction review is gonna go to. This is a thick book. Is gonna go to Marvel Zombies Resurrection. So catch you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is gonna be a little bit early. I did it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Tomorrow is gonna be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, everyone, this is Zen from Zen World saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content, drop me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video with like-minded people so they could enjoy the content as well. And I'll catch you all later for tomorrow's reaction review video. Be great to yourself and definitely always show everyone just kindness and respect. Later, everyone. Take care.